like I think I was starting to feel okay enough. I remember standing up, I guess, and I was like, okay, like I feel good. And Mike was like, so Mike Quackenbush looks over to me. He's like, all right. He's like, hey, Art, come here. He's like, you can. This is training that you could do because it's all upper body. You know, you're not going to be using your legs or anything. You know, whatever. I was like, all right, cool. And basically, what we learned, then we started learning the really cool stuff was the collar elbow tie up, wrist lock, headlock. We learned a sequence of like basic, you know, the basic moves that you would do to start off a wrestling match. And again, I'm trying to remember the moves, but I remember it was like, it was start off with a collar elbow tie up, the traditional lock up in the beginning of a match. And then it went to like a headlock and then a wrist lock. And then I can't remember what other move it went into, but we had to do that with we had to do it with we had to switch partners. So it was it ended up like you ended up doing that with every, you know, with every student in the class. So I remember I had this I partnered up with this one dude, big fucking guy, and I think his name was Chris or something, and we go to collar elbow tie up, and like it's like boom, you know, like you hear that, like just like grab each other, and he's like, "Come on, brother, just grab me harder." And I'm like trying to do it again. I was like, you know, he's like, you know, just grab again. He's like, "Come on, brother, grab me harder, man. You just gotta, you know, like just really grab me." And he's like, "You're not gonna hurt me." And I remember thinking like, I think I had said it to him. I said something like, man, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to like, you know, I might grab you hard, slap be hard. He's like, "I don't care, man. Just do it. Just grab hard." And like after like maybe a couple like one more time, I think I finally was like, oh, I was like, you know, like really grabbed him hard, and he was like, "Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about." It was fucking great. It's like such a crazy world, man. You know, it's such a crazy, you know, thing to hear that where the guy's like, "Come on, grab me as hard as you can." It was like, I thought it was too funny, and I was like, bro, we were rotating out with some other, you know, classmates and such, and you know, some people was doing like really good with, you know, like it was, you know, everybody. It was great working with everybody, and then I remember I had this one partner, and I think he was like, you know, it's collar and elbow. You know, you grab one of the collarbone and then you grab the elbow, you know, with your other hand. And I was like grabbing like the forearm or above the elbow. Like for some reason, like I was sloppy with like with how I was doing the hold, and like I would be told like, "Hey man, like it's grab the elbow. You're grabbing the arm. You're not grabbing the elbow. You know, you're grabbing the wrong part." And I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta pay attention. Well, I partner up with this with one of my classmates, this girl at Savannah, and go for the collar elbow tie up. I think I grabbed her wrist or something, and she like slapped me across the face. And Mike Quackenbush is standing right there, like with this oh shit look, like whoa, and I was just like feeling just like had my hand on my face, like dude, and she was just like she just had this like innocent look on her face. She was like, "I'm sorry." She's like, you know, instinct, I guess. And I thought, yeah, well, I grabbed her wrist. So like, what's like her first instinct when a guy grabs her wrist? Smack across the face. So that right there was a lesson to grab the elbow in a collar and elbow tie up. So, you know, so I really like learned it by then, and it was funny after we'd all completed doing the exercise with the collar elbow tie up into the headlock, into the wrist lock, into some other move I can't remember and such. Mike's like, so he was like, "Who worked the lightest?" And people would like point, and I was pointing at him. I was like, who worked the hardest or the stiffest or whatever? And like everybody pointed at this guy, the guy that I was working with. It was like, "Come on, grab me hard. That's what I'm talking about." So, But I liked it, like when he grabbed me hard, it was like, you're getting a real feel, and like with other people too, like you're getting that like real feel of like in the match, like okay, like this is the start of it now, like you're really getting into it. So basically, after that, Mike's like, okay, you learn, you all know the sequences now, like everybody, get up on the ring apron, sit, three on each side. Whomever you're facing, you're gonna partner up with that person, and you're gonna each do you're each gonna do the sequence, and then someone's gonna take a back bump, and for whatever reason, the guy I partnered up with. I don't know if I guess if I don't know if I was like, yeah, I'll do the back bump. I just been injured, in his exercise much earlier in the class, and I'm like, so like confident after doing all these other moves that I'm like, I'll take the back bump. So it gets to our turn. Me and my partner, we get in the ring, do the lockup, the headlock, the collar elbow tie up, get out of, I put him into the collar, I put him into the wrist lock. He breaks out of it. He does does like a clothesline or something, and I take the back bump. And when I land, I remember being like, ah! Like I just remember grabbing my stomach, and Mike's like, go sit down, Art. And I just remember like rolling out of the ring and just being like, oh man. And I just sat on the bench, and I was like done for the rest of the day. I don't remember how much longer that was left, but I was already like just putting my, shoes on and stuff probably, and just like, Mike comes up to me afterward. I don't know if it was afterward or if it was maybe after I had the injury. And he goes, well, and he knew how old I was. So he's like, well, if it's the injury that I think you have, he's like, I had the same one. He's like, and that hurt. He's like, and I was 34 when I had that injury. He goes, and it hurt. And I remember being like, yeah. so you could sympathize. But man, it was, I was just like, oh God, I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to recover from this. So along the way, so after that third week of the class, my father passed away. I think he had a second stroke. He had a stroke the previous October before I had decided to go into this wrestling training, and that happened, and I was like, boy, it was like, it may have happened probably before the class, so it may have happened